Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the review of Chapter 1005 of One Piece. This is Otaku Talk, and I'm your host, OD, and let's get right into this chapter, alright?
頑張れそう頑張れ諦めないで口笛吹きさ歩き出そうよ Going now
Alright, so, bit of a cooldown chapter. Not saying it's bad or anything, of course. I feel like I'm always going to have to, clarify whether or not, if I'm not super excited about a chapter, that, I'm not disappointed in it. It's just, it wasn't hype shit, right? So, this chapter, really good. We took a break from the fights. We didn't get massive exposition, but we did learn a few things here or there. There were some important tidbits of information that we got. So let's get into it. I'll be checking my phone a little bit just to make sure I'm on topic. I didn't have a lot of time to read it, so I'm gonna be normally I have some time to sit down and think about, all right, I want to address all these issues, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So first thing we have is, well, I normally don't talk about the cover photos if they're not a story, but this one was really cool because one of my homies, dope characters, Katakuri, was on it eating donuts with kittens and I think puppies, maybe mainly kittens, but super adorable. I love that dude. I can't wait to see him again. I've been trying to make a video called the next Straw Hat and who's gonna be on it, and I was gonna do two parts to it, and the first part I was gonna have people that were wild cards for it, but I don't know, it kept rubbing me the wrong way because I don't think people get the point. So I think I'm going to change it to part one or potential future allies, and then part two will be legitimate people that I think actually have a tangible, plausible chance of being on the Straw Hats. But yes, Katakuri is on the list of allies for the Straw Hats. I have a theory that there will be a schism in the Big Mom Pirates. I think something will either happen to Big Mom, whether she dies or loses her memory. I think there will be a kind of a coup by Perospero and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Chapter 10,005. And so, like I said before, we open up with Sanji, my boy. We all saw it coming. My poor dude. He's hung up, crucified on a web, and he is just getting the ever-living shit beat out of him. Something interesting that I saw was Black Maria. I think it's with web. She seems to make brass knuckles, metal knuckles, and then it turns black. And so I'm wondering if that's an aspect of the web or if that's hockey. For right now, I'm about 90% sure it's I'm 90% sure it's hockey. I was just wondering if whatever the hard gum she put on the ground, if it's the same as the hard gum she put on her hands, and maybe that's why it's black, but I'm pretty sure she's punching it with hockey. Now, as we can see, Sanji can't even defend himself, let alone fight her. He can't even defend himself and put up armor so he can just take hits and get beaten, just take the beating. So not only is Sanji getting hit for free, he's getting hockey infused attacks for hit for free without any means of defending himself. And if you guys know anything about hockey, it highly increases the destructive force and the power behind your attacks. And even when you have your own hockey up, it still hurts. And so for him to be taking these attacks raw, it's super scary. If you want to use a different series as a comparison, do you remember I think it's 10 or whatever in Hunter x Hunter, where they were you can put 10 into your hand and it puts on, but if someone can either put 10 everywhere and block, or put it in a certain section and work and protect that even more so. And so just imagine someone just not using any kind of defense, just getting hit by that. Same concept, same thing is happening here. I honestly feel really bad for Sanji at this point. I know, like I said last time in one of my either last video or the video before that, a lot of people are going to be pissed off. A lot of people are going to be mad. And I get it. No one wants to see a cool character. This is one of the things that Zoro has a very consistent fan base, right? Because he's just always written to be that motherfucker. He's a badass motherfucker. Now, Sanji's cool too. He's always been suave. He's always been that chill, cool, right? that suave dude. But like, we then introduce a woman and he loses his mind. And once again, I am one of the, I'm not gonna say few people that feel this way, but I'm in the party of people that like, it's his character. Like, I'm sorry, it sucks, but like, that's how the real world is. There are people in this world that do stupid shit, that do shit you don't agree with, that do shit you don't like. I'm sorry, there is nothing you can ever do about those people. That's just how they are. It's a personality quirk. In this situation, it's screwing them over. We all saw this day coming. It would have been asinine if this day had never come. So, unfortunately, it sucks. And by the way, in case anyone's confused about why he can't use Haki, I've said this a million times. Haki is willpower, correct? When it comes to fighting, defending, like anything with women, Sanji can't do it. He will never harm a woman. He will never do anything against a woman. And so Haki won't, he just does not have the willpower to defend himself or put up a fight because she is a woman. I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's stupid. It's not. It's actually going to be the reason why Luffy becomes so strong, because Luffy as he stands right now isn't the strongest, but I'll be damned if you'll tell me he doesn't have the willpower and dedication of a freaking god, bro. Like, since the beginning of this series, Luffy has shown that like Haki is the perfect thing for him. That's why I want to have a discussion on this as well. A lot of people don't like Haki. They like pre-time skip, and they liked where it was, the fights were a little bit more creative. I'm not saying that they're not creative now, but Luffy definitely had to jump through a lot more hoops in order to defeat some opponents, especially Logias. Logias at the beginning of One Piece were just this undefeatable, force. And like every time we were just like, how in the hell is Luffy ever going to be able to fight XYZ? The only Logia that he fought that like it made sense how he could like hang with them was Enel, right? Or Eneru. But then we had the likes of Crocodile and all these other really strong Logias. And in my opinion, it just made perfect sense that like Haki was the next step. Haki was the necessary factor in being able to contend in this world. And it fits Luffy so well just because, once again, we have never seen anyone in this series, I don't care, with as much willpower and tenacity as Luffy, bro. To this day, it's still ingrained in my brain when he was trapped on Whole Cake Island, and he had the determination and dedication to rip his arm off. Fortunately, he had the Gamu Gamu no Mi, and like it was a really hard task. But this dude was willing to willing to pull off his own arm. Also, like another person that was willing to do something insane was Zoro. Do you guys remember on Little Garden when he was on that wax cake and he was just like, well, I'm stuck here. I guess the only thing I could do is cut off my leg. It's insane. We see time and time and again some of the best people in One Piece being those people, being the people most willing to make sacrifices, aka Shanks with the arm. I'm gonna be real with you. To this day, that scene still perturbs me. I'm very upset that someone who should be one of the Yonko let that happen. A lot of people might be like, maybe wasn't that strong. I don't know, bro. It's just a little bit too much speculation. I believe in Oda, so like I'm sure he has his reasons. Right now, the main headcanon is that he betted on the next generation. Okay. That's what we're going with. Sure. But I don't know, man. I would like a little bit more. So yeah, anyway, so Sanji, knowing that, like, I was wondering where they would go with this. I was wondering if they would be like, no, I'll never, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? He legitimately decides, hey, I need help. I can't do anything right now. I'm useless right now. Robin, help me. Because not only can I not do anything right now, but I believe in you. I believe that this, like, yes, this is a trap, but you're so far above it that it doesn't matter if it's a trap. Like, I have that much faith in you and your ability and what we've overcome together that, you can handle this. You're Robin, you're Robbie Schwan of the Straw Hat Pirates. And I respect it. A lot of people, everyone's hearing this, and so like everyone is giving their opinions on it. I kind of love when moments like this happen in manga, because in my opinion, I like to swap out like all those people for the fans, and like, because I can see fans going like, what, are you seriously doing this? You're ruining the plan, or like, good, like, I agree with that, blah 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 blah. But it was also a good scene for multiple reasons, because it let us see where everyone was. We saw things we already knew, like Frankie fighting Sasaki, Jinbei fighting Who's Who. So we had flashbacks of like things we already knew what was happening, and then we had some flashbacks that we weren't quite sure what was happening. Like, I can't remember. Maybe it's just me. You guys, if you see my videos, I do forget things a lot. I'm sorry. We did see that Marco is currently engaged with King. Kind of sad about that. I really wanted Zoro to be a part of that, but also everyone kind of wants Zoro to be a part of the Kaido fight and like slash him. Something cool. I think I saw this in Reddit, or just I heard someone talking about it. But you know how there's two slashes, two scars on Kaido's body where Odin cut him with the two sword style. A lot of people think there's gonna be like three. Like two like that, one in the middle, or actually it might make sense if it's two like that and then one straight across, because how he holds the sword in his mouth. But I really think that's cool. I think that's definitely something that's gonna happen. I personally think that's something that's gonna happen. I think he's going to cut that exact same place, because it's already weak, it's already scar tissued, and instead of seeing that X, you'll see that same X, but then a line across it too, so it's a 3. So yeah, Robin shows up like the G she is, smacks the shit out of Black Maria. Like, yo, you don't fuck with my Nakama, don't fuck with my homie. Yo, we ride together, we die together. Like, that kind of shit. My boy Brook shows up. Yo, I love Brook, bro. Like, he always is in this weird place on power level. Like, we know he's nowhere on Zoro's level. Like, they showed that back on with Moria on Nightmare. I forget what that was. Thriller Bark. Back on Thriller Bark, so we know. But like, Brook has always been an interesting character. He is super fast, and like something that like I cannot get over is the fact that even as a Devil Fruit user, this dude can run on the sea. This man can run on water because he moves that fast. I think that's super insane that like that's something he can do, and we just kind of accept it. But it makes sense for all the times he shows up in fights, and he's just like, you've already been cut. Like, I love that. I always love that style of sword fighting. I think it's called I forget what it's called, but basically it's like the sheathing and resheathing technique. Apparently it's like the fastest sword technique, and if you master it, like, I think it's called like IAI or something, IEA, or some kind of a sword where it's pretty much them practicing this all day and then putting it back, because in that motion or whatever, your sword slash is at its strongest. And I always love when Brook comes in, when he always does that, you've already been cut, and then he puts it back in. Like, that is just classic anime, not just One Piece. That's just everyone loves that part where the samurai cuts someone, puts their, and then when the moment they put their sword back in the sheath, like, you just see, and so he did that with the floor. The only thing I don't like is that I really hope that it's not Brook and Black Maria against Brook and Robin against Black Maria. I need these guys to have one-on-one fights. I'm okay with Nami and Usopp's 2-on-2, but I really need these guys to have one-on-one fights. Like I said, they really haven't had them in a long time. I think it's time that we haven't received a good power scale for these guys in a while. After the time skip, yes, we knew they were, stronger than the average Joe. We knew that they could at least Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji were all capable of taking out pacifistas on their own. We knew that like Usopp, Nami, and the rest of them, like, fodder is no problem. But like in terms of like fighting elites, where are they? And like that's what I really want to know. There's a lot going on in this arc. And there's obviously other stuff that I care about, but this, just because it's like lower on the totem pole does not mean it's unimportant. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I still really want to see Brooke fight Apu, Scratchman Apu. I don't know why I always forget that dude's name. So anyway, I really want Brooke to fight Scratchman Apu just because I just like the music, the whole music theme. Brooke's a musician, Scratchman Apu's a musician. I want them to fight. Some of you might think that's a stupid reason to want people to fight. Like this person's, but like I mean, it's like if they had like a great swordsman on their side, right? I would want Zoro to fight that person. So like I see it as no different. Like you want people to fight with people who specialize in whatever they specialize in. Probably the reason we might not get that is because Apu's supposed to be a supernova. Luffy's a supernova. They're supposed to be all on that level, but as we've seen, supernovas aren't all on the same level. I mean, not even Shichibukai were on the same level. So like I kind of get it to a degree, but that's the fight I want. Robin came in like a thug. She said that she spent half her life with unsavory corporations, and so when she sees her friends being mistreated, it brings out the devil in her. I thought that was super cool. Fun fact, originally when I saw the title Devil Child, I thought it was going to be about Ace, because I don't know if a lot of you remember this, but he was said to be like the child of the devil because they said for a lot of time they said just erroneous things about the Pirate King and try to make him out to be this monster. And so because of that, Ace always felt like he was the child of the devil, and like he was told growing up he was the child of the devil. So I thought we might get like a little bit of an Ace flashback or kind of a reference. But then I remember that like she also has that kind of epithet, and especially with what happened in Ohara. So that was really cool. I can't wait to see this fight and how she handles it. We've seen Robin make her own like hand webs, so that's cool. Something interesting is she can appear wherever she wants. So can she use her powers to teleport? That's really interesting. Or is this just a trick and it's a clone? So I'm really interested in that. Is this the real? Do you guys think this is the real Robin, or do you think this is a clone? Do you guys think that with the ability of her powers, she can turn herself into petals and then basically she can unarrange herself and rearrange herself? Do you guys think that's what happened here? Because if that's the case, that's super cool. Let's move on to Yamato and Momo and the ninja chick. First of all, something interesting is they say the Shogun's in there. So I just found that super interesting simply because by saying that, and once again, this is the unofficial translation, so maybe things will change. By saying that, they're almost, in my opinion, acknowledging that he is the rightful heir, right? Because if someone shows up and you're like, oh no, the king's in there. All right, so you're admitting that's the king, right? You consider that guy the king. So like by saying the Shogun's in there, not saying like the potential Shogun or like I forget. You know how like you have the president and you have the president-elect because they're not quite president yet. Instead of saying some other lesser form, they actually say Shogun. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Moving on, the most important part of this friggin' chapter is how does Momo keep getting away with this shit? So like Yamato's like, all right, hop in, completely just opens up her like fucking whatever it's called, and I think Momo at this point is like, wow, like this is too much. I don't know how. I think maybe it's foreshadowing of how motherfucking lucky this motherfucker is, bro, because literally, oh my god. Because literally, it doesn't even look like before he makes that creepy face or he's like, yeah, and like does something perverted. But like he was just in sheer shock, like, what? I didn't even have to do anything this time. Like normally, like he sets it up, but like no, he was like he was more surprised than excited about it. Then again, like people are trying to kill him, so he doesn't have time for it. But that was super interesting. I don't know how this kid just steadily does it, but whatever, man. You're gonna be a great man one day. They're spoiling him though, man. They're really spoiling him. It was really interesting though because like literally in the next panel, like I could not tell that like there was anyone inside her shit. Then again, don't forget Yamato is really large. She's a really large character. We seem to forget that when certain characters are taken out of place or out of frame in comparison to others, or and stuff like that. But I really could not even see Momo, so that was interesting. let me see if I have anything else to talk about this episode, and then I'll wrap it up. Oh, by the way, I want to talk about Sanji. I want to say one more thing about Sanji, and then I'm gonna go back to that. One, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll recover fine. Yes, he's gonna go into his next fight with a handicap. That'll be cool to see him beat someone with that. And something also funny is that he's notorious for that. There's been so many fights, Zoro a little bit as well, where they go into their fight handicap, and it just means so much more for the fight. Um, I believe that if Sanji had found someone that he just simply could not beat, he would not have called for help. I think he would have just gone down fighting. I think that's the kind of man Sanji is. He would have, that's the kind of but the Black Maria situation was different because if he had died or gone down, it would have been for naught. Like, he didn't even put up any kind of resistance, and he knew it was hopeless. It was pathetic, and he had to do something, right? He had to do something. If he was in a fight that he was just simply being outclassed, he would have just taken the L, right? He would have just taken the L. So I think I think that's an important thing to mention. I just wanted to make sure that was known, that he's not a punk. He just literally realized that there's not much I can do here. All right, cool. We have two more parts I want to talk about. One, we finally get to know what those things are with the paper talismans or masks are. Now, I made a video a little while ago saying that my theories were it was either an advanced form of the Vivir cards. I said that it could be someone with some kind of that I think paper talisman ability. And then I said something along the lines of it could be to do with the ink powers. I'm so bad with names right now. The one that I'm definitely positive is not dead. I thought it could be him, and that could be an application of his powers. But now we're being told they're cyborgs. Still, my theory is not out the window. But I'm okay with that not being the case. We still don't really understand how these. So I guess they're animal. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the animals are the ones that are cyborgs, not the people. They could be too, but regardless, if the animals are cyborgs, that still doesn't explain to us how they're able to not only relaying stuff makes sense because they probably work on some kind of wireless network where they hear something and then they can project it to a different cyborg. That makes sense to me. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me is, for example, how they were able to see the scabbards in that one room. If the person is actually a human and not a cyborg, I guess everyone could be cyborgs. Everyone could be cyborgs, even the humans. Then that makes a little bit more sense. I wonder who made them. It could be Queen or it could be someone else entirely, but I do believe it's Queen simply because he seems to be the doctor and scientist of the crew, as well as the fact that we've seen that Queen himself is a cyborg from how he's been able to shoot weapons out of his body, and he had that gun arm, and he shot that cannonball out his mouth. So definitely seems to be something that Queen may have done. So very interesting. To finish off my chapter review, the last thing we want to talk about is Jack is back. Jack is back, and so he's not completely healed up, which I like. A lot of people thought he was going to come back healed up. Nah, he's still taking. He's still quite beaten up. He's still quite fatigued from his fight. You even see with his tusk. It looks like it's been stitched up or taped up. Poor Jack. Honestly, someone should have told him all he needs is milk. That boy needs milk.
He needs some milk.
But yeah, man, very so I'm very interested to see who fights him. It looks like he's heading towards the scabbards. Maybe Yamato and them are gonna head. I don't know what her goal is right now to either help the Scabbards. If she's truly Odin, she would want to help her retainers, but she also has the goal of protecting Momo. So whether those coincide or deviate is completely up to her. Who knows? So I wonder who's going to, match up with Jack. Black Maria looks really dope right now. She's got a tattoo saying like, basically epitome of like men beware the power of women. I know I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what it means. She has this really, really dope staff. And thanks to where I read my my unreleased manga, they gave like a little exposition on like what it was, and it's some kind of popular demon. And like, the coolest part about the story was the demon was walking through like a town, and like this woman was looking out her window staring at him, and the demon's like, instead of staring at me, you should be staring at your son. And she looks to stare at her son, and her son is just like in a pool of blood with no like arms, all his appendages like gone. And then she looks back at the demon, and he's got like all the babies like got the baby's arms and like legs in his mouth. I'm like, yo, that's tough. That's tough. So I'm wondering if she's just simply using that fear factor from the spear and the image of the of that demon itself, or if that's some kind of foreshadowing to something she'll be able to do. And then something I still haven't let go is, why is the lower half of her body a spider still? I'm pretty sure she's not a gifter. I'm pretty sure she's also, because we were told that the Topirappo are all mythical Zoan users. So I don't know, that's very interesting. I still would like to find that out. It could be just that's part of the fact that it's a mythical Zoan. Maybe she's awakened, and because of her awakened ability, she's able to do that. I have no clue. Like in a lot of animes where, like, for example, right now I'm reading this one about isekai about this girl that gets reincarnated as a spider, and one of the forms she wants to level up into is basically what Black Maria is, where it's a woman with the top half of a woman and the bottom half is a spider. The only thing is, we've had the reveal of her Devil Fruit name, and it wasn't anything like that particular kind of monster. So I don't know, that's something we'll find out later. But okay, chapter, after a week, I really wanted some more hype shit, but this isn't bad. I think the thing with One Piece is we get spoiled from time to time with tremendous chapters, and so when things go back to like their balance level, it feels a little bit lackluster. But this was still, regardless, a great chapter. A lot of little caveat things happened in it. I really can't wait. From what I've heard, we get another chapter after this, a break, and then 2 chapters right after that. So very excited. Very excited to see the side fights. Very excited to see what else happens in Wano. Very excited to see not just us get back to Kaido, not us just get back to the Topirappo fights, but there's a lot of things going on in Wano right now. I know I say it every episode, but I need you guys to understand that we have like the big mob pirates who are there and haven't shown up yet. We might be having reinforcements from other groups. Marco is here, so why wouldn't someone from the Whitebeard Pirates show up? We had the flashback where the Whitebeard Pirates didn't show up before because they didn't know about it, and like it had happened so long ago. But now would be a great time for them to honor and avenge their former Nakama Odin, and like also their and Ace and all that stuff by showing up here. So like there's a lot at play here. There's truly a lot at play here. We have Onigashima going to the Flower Capital, and we don't really even know who else is at the Flower Capital as of this moment. So maybe the closer Kaido brings us to the Flower Capital, maybe the more he dooms himself, because he's bringing us towards allies. He's bringing himself more towards his doom. There's so much going on here, so I'm excited about it. Anyway, I'll wrap it up here. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and I'd love to chat with you about them. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'm doing my best. I know that like I mess up here and there, but I really am trying. This is, one of the highlights of my life. I'm really excited to be doing this. So please like, share, subscribe. I'm really trying to get a good subscriber base. I'm starting slow now. My goal is 100. Next goal 500. Honestly, my ultimate goal is 1,000. If I can get to 1,000, I'll be relatively happy. I know it's such a big goal, and I'm not trying to think about that yet, but I think I have a lot of cool things to say. I'm just not the best at articulating them at the moment, but I think the more and more videos I release, the better and better at it I will get. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to Otaku Talk. This is your host, OD. Take care, guys. Have a great day.